Superman couldn't believe that Batman had died to Darkseid and therefore ran multiple tests on him, hoping it was just a duplicate, but he eventually found out that it wasn't. He ended up returning the Batsuit to the Bat family, stating that he wants to address his contingency plan, which initially confused Nightwing, until Clark explained that Bruce always had a plan for everything and that he therefore wants to know if he had a plan for his death, but then Alfred interrupted with sadness on his face, ultimately leaving everyone in silence. Some time passes as we eventually see Nightwing sitting alone, breaking down, unsure as to what's next now that Bruce is gone, until Alfred came from behind to comfort him, telling him that he too misses Bruce, but stopping here and not carrying on his legacy would cause everything Bruce had ever accomplished to vanish. And so later, when the funeral was held, Nightwing steps up to give a speech telling the attendants that Batman must live on simply because the villains should never find out that he's dead. However, when Nightwing would go on to don the suit and put on the mask, Superman would end up hearing a police report stating that Scarecrow was stopped by Batman. So he watched the news with Wonder Woman, who was actually happy that Grayson is carrying on the legacy, while Superman was quite pissed. He immediately flew over to Gotham, basically telling Grayson to take off Bruce's uniform and fight crime the way he was before Batman's death. And before Nightwing could even explain his situation, things quickly escalated as Clark grabs him by his suit, telling him to take off his clothes over and over, until Grayson seemingly began reaching for kryptonite, screaming at Clark to back off till he came back to his senses, as Nightwing then tells him that he too has now lost his father and this is what he can do. But after sitting down and telling Diana how he was about to strip Nightwing of his costume, Diana stops him, telling him that he just misses his friend, which essentially encouraged him to go talk to Grayson, who had actually sealed Bruce's Batcave and opened a new one for himself, which Clark respected, stating that not a lot of people knew who Batman truly was and that he wasn't a vengeance creature, he was just a grateful man trying to repay a debt. And so with that, Clark apologizes for questioning Grayson's actions earlier, as he then shakes his hand, calling him Batman.